What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, I got a little video today. We're gonna talk about there is a lot of different cards that fall into this category. If you guys from those that are just reading the title, and there's a lot of cards that fall in this category. So I'm after the intro, I'm gonna be a little more specific on exactly what I mean by this. But this right here are the top 5 cards right here, like the best one card answers in Yu-Gi-Oh. And like I said, I'm gonna go a little more in depth after the intro, but essentially this is just one card and it is done. Use this one card. If it resolves, if it goes through, it is a one card answer. There's no other things you have to do. One card, done. Alright, that's done. If you like what we do here, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it is all cool. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I want to do a giveaway at all the major milestones. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the card. So this is pretty much what I want to start out with. So essentially, I'm gonna explain what I mean by one card answers. So a lot of people might think of something like Ash Blossom, to where Ash Blossom is one card and there's 3 different effects that Ash Blossom could be used for. I am not talking about cards like Ash Blossom or maybe the Ghost Squirrel and Haunted Mansion. I am not talking about those kind of effects to where you have one card, if something happens that has a bunch of different things. I'm talking about, this is my example, like you have something like Naturia Beast on the field and you're playing a heavy spell deck. You drop a Gamma-Seal on it and that's it. There's no other work. There's no other things you have to do. The card, your card there is gone, and you're just free to do your plays. So let's go ahead and get with this. Is a number. This is they're not really in any time specific order, so I just have them up here. So at number 5, I have Gamma-Seal, the Sea Turtle, and all the kaijus period that allow you to tribute one of your opponent's monsters. Essentially, if you have one troublesome monster, like I said, if you're running a trap deck, it's Barking on Beast. If you're or even could be something like Denko Seka, stuff like that. Though like that's something that you just want to get off the field and you do not want to deal with it. So you want to have something like Gamma-Seal or any of the kaiju, depending on what kind of deck you're running, what kind of strategy you have. You want to use it to just get it off the board. If you have a specific negate that you cannot play around, you just kaiju it. If you have an effect that's making you burn life points so you don't want to lose in time, you just Gamma-Seal it. Your opponent will not have an opportunity to respond to the monster being tributed, so there's really going to be no way to save it. So that's how this card becomes a one card answer. In the same vein as all the kaijus, you also have Lava Golem. This is not number 2, this is all still in the number 1 category, but Lava Golem falls in that same category because if you have 2 monsters you need to get rid of, you get rid of the 2 monsters and then you place the Lava Golem. There's nothing else you have to do. You simply just tribute the monsters, normal summon that Lava Golem to your opponent's side of the field, and your problems are gone. That same thing applies with Winged Dragon of Ra, Winged Dragon of Ra Spear Mode. Essentially, it is one card. There is no extra. There's no do this. There's no do that. There is just slap the card down and get rid of your problems. It's just the difference is if you have 1 problem, it's Gamma-Seal. 2 problems, the Lava Golem. 3 problems, it's the Winged Dragon of Ra Spear Mode. So all of these cards are in the same vein of one card answers that simply take out troublesome monsters that you cannot deal with, or you don't want them to chain, or you just don't want any kind of interaction with. You use this. All right, so let's go ahead and go into number 4, and that is Skill Drain. I was debating because like I said, there's other cards that I wanted to put on here. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of of other cards that are maybe 1.5 card answers, or maybe they're also 1 card answer. But right now I'm putting Skill Drain up here because this right here is, you flip Skill Drain, you pay your 1,000 life points. If it resolves and stays on the field, all of your opponent's activated effects on the field are not they're not going to be able to resolve. They could still activate, so there are still some shenanigans with paying cost and certain other things could kind of go down. But for the most part, if you know that the only thing that you have to deal with is your opponent's effects, the effects on the field, they get some on summon effects, they get effects that trigger when something gets sent to the graveyard. That's just a 1 card answer and they're all taken care of. There's no other effort you have to put in. they're just negated. You just simply play Yu-Gi-Oh, do your combos, play your deck, whichever deck you're playing, whether it's stun or maybe it's a graveyard based deck, or like, you know, cards that activate in different parts, you know, of the field that's not on the field directly, like in the grave, in the hand, the banished. You just play around skill drain. This is a one card answer that will take out all of the effects. It'll take out yours too, but like I said, this is usually played in a type of deck that could play with skill drain, that could play like with or around skill drain. So this is another card that I chose as a good one card answer. So number 3 right here, I have Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird is very, you know, it's pretty much self-explanatory on why it's a one card answer. Once your opponent adds the cards from the deck to your hand except by drawing, you drop this, and then for the rest of the turn they cannot add, you know, either player cannot add any more cards to their hand. Essentially, if you are playing a deck to where you know it draws a lot, you know the deck searches a lot, you know the deck has effects that mandatory require them to search cards, or maybe like require them to draw. There are decks that do that to where it's like after they, you know, resolve an effect, they make you draw. You essentially shut all that down with Droll and Lockbird. It is one card, nothing else you have to do, and everything is shut down. There's no extra, there's no like, oh well let me do, no. Drop the Droll and Lockbird, they get their card, Droll and Lockbird, bam, you're done. There's no more adding any more cards. So that is just a nice simple one card answer to your opponent adding cards from their deck to their hand. And Droll and Lockbird, I really like Droll and Lockbird. Like it was very underestimated, like, you know, like back when I first found out about it in the Dragon Roller era, you know, that's when I first really started to like it. And then it just like took off from there, and then it came in and out of formats until kind of recently. Now it's kind of fallen off, but it's still, you never know. Konami runs in cycles, you know, sometimes this is good, that is good, this format, that format, so you don't want to be caught without your Droll and Lockbirds. But yeah, this is a very good one card answer. Alright, so and at number 2 I have Dimensional Shifter. These are no specific order, you know, because like these are all really good cards depending on the format. But Dimensional Shifter is like, I was kind of debating like should I put, you know, like should I put Dimensional Shifter or should I put Macrocosmos. I could have put Macrocosmos in as like a little extra card, but, you know, but I don't want to add, you know, a little too extra. I will mention Macrocosmos as, yeah, that is another one card answer to the graveyard. You know, like, so like a Dimensional Fissure doesn't really work on here because it's only monsters. You know, so like I'm talking about one card, deal with the entire thing. So you can add Macrocosmos to this list, but I chose Dimensional Shifter because of the hand trap, and it just has that extra value of being able to do that, you know, on your opponent's turn if you're going second, or your turn if you're going first. Depend, like if you're, you know, a lot of Flaunderies plays had it to where they don't care about the graveyard, so no matter if they went first or second, they could activate Shifter, do their play, pass, or Shifter you on the beginning of your turn, and then still be unaffected. So this right here, one of the best one card answers to the graveyard. Takes care of, you know, takes care of everything, but it's only for those 2 turns. But Yu-Gi-Oh is a game where it is won pretty much. It usually games are decided within the first 3 turns. One, like even one within, like, you know, like sometimes in 3 turns. But you get to, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh players, sometimes it is probably like you got 3 turns to establish everything, and maybe like you got 7 turns. That's probably like max, depending on, you know, depending on what, like you know, what's really going on. But a lot of times you probably have 5 turns. So having the graveyard shut down for 2 of them is, you know, is really good. This is one of the best one card answers to the graveyard. I understand that Macrocosmos is continuous and it'll kind of like, you know, kind of keep doing it, but you really can't use that going first. Like if you're going first, you have to set it and activate it, and then if you're going first, you won't be able to use it until turn 3. So, well, the turn 3 of the entire duel. So like I really, like I said, I really like Dimensional Shifter better as the one card answer to the graveyard, especially if you're running a deck that could just get advantage and just bam, take over the duel from there. And then at number 1, I have Lightning Storm. So remember, this is in no specific order, so I'm not saying Lightning Storm is the best one card answer. This just happened to be like, you know, one of the ones that, you know, that I put at the end. But maybe some people are thinking, why am I Welcome Dark Hole, Raigeki, or, you know, like Harpy's Feather Duster really is in there. Those are those are in the same vein as one card answers, but if you think about it, it's like, okay, well, like Dark Hole is just for monsters, obviously Lightning Storm, Raigeki is just for monsters, and then, you know, if you want to take out the spell and trap cards, you need Harpy's Feather Duster. So it's like, it is true that Harpy's Feather Duster is a one card answer to the back row. Rageki is a 1-card answer to the monsters, but this right here is a 1-card answer to both. You do have to choose, so if your opponent has both, you have to make the decision. But this one right here just perfectly embodies the idea of this video of what I wanted it to be, of a 1-card answer. If you have limited space in your main or extra deck, and you're like, you know what, I really don't have enough space to maybe you have maybe you run like a Rageki and a Harpies, a Harpies Feather Duster, but you're like, you know what, I really want more back row removal, but I don't have enough room for it. Or you're sitting there kind of having to choose between, do I run more back row removal or run more monster removal? Lightning Storm kind of just gets rid of that, that whole thought process entirely. It's just completely just, you pretty much never have to think about that, because you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna have 3 Lightning Storm, and then I'll put Rageki and a Harpy's Feather Duster in there, and that right there will give you the ability to choose between these two, plus have that extra oomph. So like I said, I think this right here, the superior. I mean, it's pretty obvious because it has 2 of the effects, but this is the more superior 1-card answer, because like I said, it isn't like Ash Blossom, to where it's like they activate a card to search, you Ash Blossom it, but then they still have 4 other cards in their hand to do their combo with. This right here is, if they set 3, you activate this and it resolves, they lose the 3. They have they have monsters, you activate this and then you get rid of their monsters, you've gotten rid of their monsters. So like I said, if you're trying to get rid of like a negate, then obviously you're gonna use this, but if you're in a situation where it's like, okay, they're not gonna put a negate, or maybe like you're able to maybe do another thing to negate the board, or if you're like, what, screw it, I know I could just go through through the board with this 1 card, you're gonna want this 1 Lightning Storm. So that's it, guys. That's pretty much it. These are, like I said, these are like my five choices. Starting off with the Gamma Seals, Lava Golems, and Wing Jagger Raw. That's all like in one choice. They're all good 1-card answer depending on your situation. Then you got the Skill Drain, 1-card answer to effects on the field. Joan Lockbird, you 1-card answer to adding cards to the hand. Dimensional Shifter, best 1-card answer to the graveyard. And Lightning Storm, best 1-card answer to where either getting rid of the board or getting rid of the back row. Let me know if you would have added some other cards into this list. Like I said, these are not in specific order. It's not like the first ones were the worst and this one is the best. This is pretty much just like my opinion on some of the better 1-card answers to Yu-Gi-Oh. If you have some other ones, let me know down in the comments below. If not, peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.